My wife of 41 years died on Tuesday. By Saturday, my son had his phone out, making the scare footage. The coffee on the kitchen table was still cold from that morning. I had not moved it. The house still smelled like the flowers from the funeral. Everything felt quiet, too quiet. But Derek and his wife Pamela walked through the house like they were at an open showing. Pamela had a small notepad in her hand. She was writing things down. Living room needs updating. Kitchen carpets are old. Derek stood near the window and said, almost coldly, "You were managing it with mom." He said it like that solved everything, like her being gone automatically made this house too big for me. I did not answer. Margaret and I built this place together. 41 years. She was a grateful teacher, dark hair, soft voice, the kind of woman who really listened when you spoke. I still remember the night I met her. There was not even dancing at that event, but I asked her to dance. Anyway, she laughed and said, "Yes, we built this house, the saving, the life, and we raised Owen higher." Owen was not my blood. He was my brother, Frank boy. After Frank died, Margaret packed Owen lunches, drove him to hockey practice, and sat in the cold stand cheering. She even made it to his graduation when she was already tired from treatment. Owen was the quiet one, the one who noticed everything, and that's why I noticed something too. The first transfer happened in December. $3,000. I called the bank. The IP address was dark. Pamela came by 3 days later with a cash roll. She kissed my cheek and said, "We just want to help." While the food sat untouched on the counter, she walked through the house again. This time she had her phone out. She took photos of the bathroom, the master closet, the furnace room, even the back desk. When I asked her why, she smiled. "It helps you understand deferred maintenance, like Margaret was leaking pipe." Derek had already done his research. He showed me pictures of a retirement place called Lakeview Pines, bright lobby, fresh paint, smiling seniors playing cards. "It's practical," he said. "No stairs, no stress." Then Pamela used a phrase that did not belong in my kitchen. "A future buyer will want neutral colors." Future buyer, as if it was already decided. I started checking the accounts more carefully. $67,000 had been moved. Small amount, irregular, over 6 weeks. Carefully thought through. One afternoon, I stepped onto the porch and heard them talking quietly near the driveway. Once the house list, the timeline takes care of itself. That's when I called Barbara Finch. She had handled Margaret paperwork for years. Barbara was quiet on the phone. Then she said, "Harlotte, I think it's time you told me about the property of your wife registered in her name in 2019. I didn't know about any property. A cedar long house, 4 acres, Bruce, Peninsula, 8 minutes from Georgian Bay, bought outright, paid in cash, $340,000. Her aunt, inheritance, private saving, registration only in Margaret's name, left entirely to me. Dog was not mentioned. The will was updated, life insurance to all. All right, she had now something, not everything, but she had now her son well enough to plan around him. The lock was changed while Doc was at lunch in Mississauga. His bank access was removed. Owen recommended discreet moving company. 3 quiet weekends. I was gone before Doc realized a conversation had even started. Then he called, said he spoken to an agent April listening, a strong spring market. He said it like a report, not a question. "You are right," I told him. I am not in that house. Derek found out of 2 days later about the cedar house near Tobermory, about the well, about the 67,000 US dollar and the clear paper trail behind it. He called me that night. His voice was tight, angry at first, then unsure. I let him finish. Then I said the only thing I had prepared. I have bank record, transaction log, IP address, and a lawyer. I also have a Pamela voice and a recording. I don't want to use any of that, but I need you to understand what your mother understood about you. He was quiet. This was not revenge. I was trying to ruin him. I was giving him a choice, the same Aunt Margaret had quietly prepared for. The Oakville house was sold, on my timeline, not his. When everything was settled, I gave Doug $50,000. I gave Owner 50,000 too. Owen cried. Doug said he was sorry, and this time I saw it real. Pamela never called. A week later, Owen drove up in his old, better Civic. No big announcement, just a big for groceries in his hand. We walked through the white hedges behind the house, snow pressed softly under our boots. We looked at the trees for a long moment and said, "She picked a good one." I think she did. There are four of Margaret watercolors hanging in the hallway. Now, in the morning, I drink hot coffee on the screened porch and watch the Georgian bay lights stretch across the water. She built one more thing quietly without asking anyone permission, and she left it for me to find. A good life going forward is not given to you. It's not inherited. It arrives because you decide to build it. Then once the ones who end up with something real understood that the building was always there to do.